I don't even remember exactly how he sounded. I wasn't paying attention to him.
He's like, yes, he says yes, but he's really a racist, homophobic stooge.
He did say a homophobic slur, but I don't remember him saying. Did he say something racist?
He said that a Canadian gamer hasn't met a black woman before. A racist, homophobic stooge.
He did say a homophobic slur, but I don't remember him saying. Did he say something?
He said that a Canadian gamer hasn't met a black woman before. I call that racist.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Was he referring to like the fact that? Was he referring to the fact that Saggy is black?
Yeah, I guess so. I call that racist. I don't know anyone else, but if I said that, people would say I'm racist. That's all I know.
How's it going, everyone? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer, coming at you with another video. So yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Apparently Carl last night with his big mouth, he's claiming that Saggy Melon's co-host on one of her live streams is racist. Again, I never said that. As far as I'm aware, he's not racist. I didn't watch the stream. Everybody's got the right to plead their innocence until proven guilty. Again, I have no idea what he's talking about. So, yeah, Carl, maybe you can care to elaborate. And while you're at it, why are you making fun of the guy's voice? What's wrong with his voice? What are you insinuating? Please elaborate. It's funny too. Carl, he left a comment on my most recent video this morning. A big, long comment apologizing to yours truly. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Things got out of hand last night. You know, we were streaming till 4 a.m, obsessing over you, and it got carried away, and I apologize, and it's not appropriate. And I simply responded to him. I said, well, you know what, buddy? Maybe it's best that you don't comment here anymore. So he deleted his comment off of my channel, and then he proceeded to block me on his channel, and then he immediately posted a video rescuing his damsel in distress while trying to throw yours truly under the bus. So, see guys, this is what I've been telling you guys all along. When it comes to the Intellivision Amico, and RGT85 was exactly right, there's tribalism going on here. So you've got the Amico cult, right? And then you've got anti-Amico haters, and they're usually, you know, solo ventures here and there. But then you've got another faction, within the Amico haters group. You've got another cult, and that's the Geek Getaway cult. So this is again a group of guys and one girl. So you've got Tony, and you've got the Retro Bro, and you've got Ninja Kitty, and you've got Carl, and the list goes on. So this is a cult. This is absolutely a cult. These guys can't get away from the Geek Getaway. They're absolutely hypnotized by him. And it's funny too, because when you see Dazed Gaming, it's almost like a Charles Manson situation, you know? You know, there's always that one person who's really innocent, gullible, and they get pulled into the cult because they don't know any better. You know, the cult members are like, come on in. We've got some fresh bread here. We've got some warm food on the table. We've got a place for you to stay. Please come in. And then he gets invited in. The next thing you know, he's knee deep in the cult. So Yeah, Dazed Gaming. And also you too, Genovi. I'm not afraid to bring you up either, even though I like your channel. The Geek Getaway is bad news. Everybody has known about this for years. This guy has been digging around where he shouldn't be digging around, poking around on people's LinkedIn profiles, probably their Facebook profiles as well, God knows what else, looking up various Intellivision employees that we shouldn't even be looking up because they're low on the totem pole or lower than Tellurico. And we've all known about this for years. So, like, when you're giving this guy shout-outs and retweets on Twitter, Genovi, just know this. It's not a good look for you. It's not a good look for you, buddy. So, it is absolutely a cult that these guys cannot escape. They're under the tutelage of Tony, and they feel indebted to him, and they're absolutely in a fucking trance. That's all I can say. And it's sad to see that. It's absolutely sad. And again, going back to, the introduction of this video, again, I have no idea what that's about. I have no clue. As far as I'm concerned, nobody's being racist until we know otherwise. We don't know. But if that did come up in conversation, whether it was, let's say, me talking to somebody on the street, not YouTube related, or maybe let's say I was talking to somebody on YouTube and it came up, hey, listen, this person I think is racist. I heard something on a podcast or on a live stream that comes across as racist. Wouldn't that be enough of a red flag for you to be like, maybe we should look into this before we go any further on associating with who it is we're associating with? And again, it sounds like he's pointing the finger at Saggy Melon's co-host on the live stream, not Saggy Melon's. But it's guilty by association. If you're hanging around with somebody who's, racist, and they're racist or they say something that's racist, then it's your due diligence to speak up and say something about it. Or distance yourself from it. Not just laugh about it here and shrug it off like Dazed Gaming and pretend like it's not a big deal. And meanwhile, you've got the fucking nerve to come after me and spend 8 hours on a live stream obsessing over yours truly while I'm in bed getting a good night's rest. You guys need to get a fucking life. You guys are in a cult. You know you're in a cult. I've exposed it. I've exposed this cult, and now everybody knows about it. And as for you, Retro Bro, I don't need to post a response video to you. You know why? Because I've already got Review Tech USA and Pat and Ian doing that for me. Wow, it must be embarrassing having someone with 1 million subscribers calling me out on their live stream. No wonder you privatized your YouTube channel. No wonder you privatized your Twitter. Spineless. You couldn't handle the pressure and you cracked. You folded like a house of cards. Unbelievable. You couldn't handle the pressure. And now you want nothing more to do with the Amico. Whereas if you would have just kept your cool and kept rolling with Amico After Dark and let the water roll off your back, like water off a duck's back, you would have came out smelling like a fucking rose. But no, you had to have a public meltdown, and it's only going to get worse because once the Amico finally and officially collapses, those guys, not me, those guys, Review Tech USA and Pat and Ian, they're going to have a fucking field day with you. They are going to roast you. They are going to bury you. You're going to have your head in the sand, and you're probably going to shut down your Twitter account and your Facebook and all the rest of it, and your YouTube and all your social media outlets, everything from here to Kingdom Come, because you're going to be absolutely embarrassed. So, getting on with the meat and potatoes of today's video, I wanted to share something with you guys. Now, the first thing is I've got a little bit of a pickup here. And while I'm opening that up, today's conversation is about the Sega Genesis. So I picked up Side Pocket Pool for the Sega Genesis. So I am excited to have this game in the collection. Paid next to nothing for it. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it tonight, and I'll let you guys know what I think of it. So yeah, so as you can see, I've got the Sega Genesis, the mini console here, and I wanted to talk about the first time I ever played the Sega Genesis. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but as you know, or maybe you don't know, I grew up with the NES, and at the time in the late 80s, early 90s, my dad was working for a department store called Kmart, and I want to say this might have been around 1992, maybe 1993. He brought me back into the back room where the employees have their lunch, and there was a CRT hooked up. You know, there's two black chairs there, a little table, and Sonic the Hedgehog was playing. I don't know if it was playing or it was obviously the cart was in the Genesis. And I can remember, you guys wouldn't understand unless you were around back then, but you know, growing up with the NES, it's a gray console, you know, very neutral color. And you see this black console, this black Sega Genesis. And up till that point, I don't think I ever played a Sega Genesis. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So you see the black console, it almost comes off kind of like not a toy, but like a machine. It's like, this is a kind of weird. You know, like at the time I was 9 years old maybe. And I'm seeing this black console. I'm like, wow, kind of intimidating. What is this? An extra button on the controller? What? And I remember it was either the original Sonic or Sonic 2. It might have been Sonic 2. I think it was Sonic 2 because it had like the split screen where two players could play at the same time. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. And I can remember being blown away by the graphics. You know, you guys take it for granted now when you look at it. But back then, to go from the NES to seeing Sonic the Hedgehog, he was so fast on the screen, and the parallax scrolling, the way the water looked, the way that the blocks would break on the levels, the way Sonic would go around, whatever you call it, the levels, and the music too. Like obviously the Genesis sound chip is synth based, but in the right hands, it could produce some incredible sound. And even today, when you listen to Sonic the Hedgehog, and I have it here, I put it on last night to play it for a bit. This is a not for resale version. In the right hands, the music is absolutely incredible. You listen to the music in Sonic the Hedgehog, especially that first level, and it's just as good as anything on the Super NES, in my opinion. And even Sonic the Hedgehog 2, when you get to the second stage, where you're in Las Vegas, the music is so good. Yeah, and I could just remember being blown away by it. Unbelievable. And then we got a Super NES for Christmas that same year, and I was disappointed because I wanted a Sega Genesis. And it's funny now when you look back, and this is just my opinion, I've talked about this before, but when you look back at the comparison I like to always make is Super Mario World. You compare that to Sonic the Hedgehog. I'd say Super Mario World's the better game. You know, at the time, never seen an open world map like that before. And not RPG elements, but the way that you could collect different things in the game and unlock different colored blocks that were not accessible at the beginning of the game. It was a real big deal. And not to go on a Mario tangent, but like you could obviously save your game and you could return to it, and there was just so many levels, and you could put so many hours into Super Mario World. Whereas Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, at least with me, I get to like the third or fourth level and game over. No, obviously there's some guys and gals out there that can play all the way through Sonic the Hedgehog, and good for you. I'm not one of them. But even to this day, when I put it on, it still sort of brings back memories of my childhood. And it's funny too, I put on Sonic the Hedgehog last night, and I gotta say, I don't understand what the big fuss is about all these HDMI upscalers, because I'm playing the original Sonic the Hedgehog on my CRT and it looks just fine. The way that it should look, the way it was meant to be played. Yeah, it looks absolutely incredible. And I find myself now that when I go back and play it, I stop a lot of the time. I know there's a timer in the levels. You got to be as quick as possible. But a lot of times I stop and look around and take a look at the detail and some of the craftsmanship that went into making that game and the level design. There's a lot to be said about Sonic the Hedgehog. It is a really impressive game, even by today's standards. And like I said, the music, the way they utilize the sound chip, even to this day, it blows me away. Because when Alpha Nerd could probably attest to this because he knows more about the Genesis than me, but used the wrong way, the Sega Genesis sounds like a bag of farts, like a fart in the wind. But used the right way, and it's absolutely incredible. And another example too, another game I was playing last night was Lotus 2. And this is actually a really good game that gets overlooked. 7 stages. I made it to the 7th stage last night. I almost beat the game. But I do want to say the music is really good in this. But it reminds me of Outrun on the Genesis. So if you have the music going, you can't hear the vehicle. But if you turn the music off, you can hear the vehicle. I think in Outrun you can't hear the vehicle regardless. But this is kind of an Outrun clone. But dare I say I like this more than Outrun. This is really, really good. I was going to record a bit of gameplay footage for this, but I didn't get around to it. But if you guys want me to, I can post a quick video showcasing this game. But yeah, Lotus 2, you can pick it up on the cheap, and it's a really good Outrun clone. I do like it a lot. So yeah, those are my memories, my brief memories of the Sega Genesis. Towards 1995, 96, I had a childhood friend who lived in the neighborhood, and he sold me his Model 1 Genesis with all of his games, and most of his games were sports games, but there were some other titles there as well, all complete in box, Altered Beast. Probably had some real good gems in there too. I don't know. It's all gone. I don't know where it went. I think we sold it at a yard sale like a lot of people did back in the day. But, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, in the year 2022, I'd prefer collecting for the Genesis than the Super NES. I know the Super NES is more expensive to collect for, although the Genesis is going up in price. But I do find a lot of the multiplats, not all, but a lot of the multiplats actually run a lot better on the Sega Genesis. I know Out of This World and Flashback are 2 prime examples. If you look at Flashback on the Super NES, the introduction, the cutscenes, go back and watch it. It's like literally 1 frame a second. The guy's legs, when he's running, it's like... Whereas if you watch it on the Genesis, buttery smooth. And the same goes for Out of This World. Fairly smooth frame rates on the Genesis, whereas on the Super NES, same with Flashback. But Out of This World has the better soundtrack on the Super NES. And I will say, in my opinion, Flashback has the better soundtrack as well on the Super NES. But those are my brief sort of memories on the Sega Genesis. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, you youngsters look at Sonic the Hedgehog and all these games now and you sort of take it for granted. But back in the day, when I had never even seen a Super NES before and I went from the NES to laying eyes on Sonic the Hedgehog, I was like, holy fuck. Does this really exist? Does my character really go this fast? Oh my god, this music. So yeah, I'll cut it off there. That's going to do it for this video. If you guys have any Sega Genesis memories, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Anyways, guys, that's it for the drama videos. We're going to try to bring things back on course. I've got a lot of other things I want to talk about. I don't want to be spending my time talking about these bozos in this cult that I've uncovered that you are all aware of now. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.